welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102. We've got a requested video now, and this is a bit of an updated video. I've done a couple of these before, but I'm just going to, it's more a case of explaining it. Everything I'm about to explain is all explained in text on the forums under the 1984-85 update. So basically, somebody says I'm struggling with it and that sort of stuff. So, you need two things. You only need to download two things. The very first thing you need to download is the most recent 84-85 update that they've been... Because what you've got to remember, right, is that's, you know, those guys that have been working on the 84-85, they release updates almost on a weekly basis, where I think there's a collection of people, I'm not sure how many, and they all add something, and then they release a new version, and so on and so on and so on. So, earlier this morning, I downloaded, I went to the very last post of that thread, and I'll go to the thread, actually. I'll show you the thread. Let's just, what the fuck are we on here? Amy, who the fuck has been watching Amy Winehouse? That is disgusting. Someone's been watching Amy Winehouse. That's just fucking wrong. Okay, so you go to data updates, and as you can see right there, 84-85 is actually already on there, but it was most recently active. And as you can see, go to the very last post. Now, sometimes you might have to siphon through a little bit to see where the last one was. This morning, these posts weren't here. And you've got to look very, very carefully. And there you see, the latest version is right here. Version 493D for Delta. And it's got a couple of checks and stuff. And I'm guessing Kevin Keegan's mullet is one of the people that's part of it, obviously. So, you need that. You need the most, or whichever version you want. So that's the first thing you need. You also need the Exes. Now, the EXEs, or the Exes, whatever you want to call it, the EXEs is on the very, very first page. And it is right there, right there. So, download those as well. You need both. And once you've downloaded both of those, it will look something like that. So that's the latest version, and that is the Exes. Now, I did actually have a little difficulty downloading the Exes. I downloaded them in WinRAR, and it said failed, and I just had to resume it. I resumed it a few times, and eventually it came through. So in case you encounter similar problems, that might just be me and my fucking firewall settings and shit. So your guide is right here. So, I don't know, maybe some people find it easier to hear it as opposed to read it. So basically, step one, install the game, CM. Now obviously you're either using your ISO or you are using your CD. So the ISO or CD, you just click your setup. Install CM as per usual. And with whatever specifications that you normally do for an installation. Doesn't really make any difference to me because I'm going to delete what I've got here anyway, but this is ordinarily what I would do on any install. I don't have any of that shit, and then we just install it like so. And we're on a bit of a fucking go slow today. When it gets its fucking arse in gear, there you go. Okay, so right. No, and I'll explain why I'm not. Well, the answer's no to that regardless. It's a no. You should already have DirectX installed, in all honesty. You don't need to read the README, but you can if you want. And that's telling you about your service pack compatibility. More about that in a moment. Okay, so that is step one done. We've installed the game. You've downloaded you've done step 2, you've done step 3. And now, what we're going to do now is look at step 4, what it says to do. Look at step 5. Look at steps. Just go to step 5 at the minute. Right-click the CM84 normal and the fast EXEs. So let's just go back to the EXEs for a minute. Which is these. I've extracted them, and they will look like that. And that's what it is. Okay. So what you do at this point, right? You highlight them both. Copy them or cut them, whatever. Okay. So we'll just copy them. And then you put them into that CM that you've just installed, which I know is right there. And you paste them. You paste them in there. Whilst you're in here, delete the CM EXE right there. Delete that old one because you will not be running that. Okay, you will not be running that whatsoever. So what it said on step, I mean, I personally wouldn't have put the steps in that order. I would have changed the steps a little bit, but either way. So at this point now, looking at the step, right click the CM84 normal X and the fast X and enable compatibility and also run as an administrator. So what we mean by that is we right click it, we click properties, we click compatibility, you make sure you are Windows 95 and you are running as admin. The only reason it's already there is because it tends to default like so. Do that with both, your normal as well. If it depends which one you're going to use. Any of them, oh there you go, that's how it tends to be set up. So Windows 95. Now you may need to sometimes alternate the service packs, because what we just saw at the end of that installation there, it said service pack 2 or 3. So you may need to alternate. I find Windows 95 works. I think it will really depend on what version of Windows you're using, assuming it's Windows you are using. Always make sure you're running as an administrator. Okay, that step is done. Now then, the last thing that we installed, downloaded of course, was the data folder, which is 4.93, and it will look something like that. So what you do at this point, all the items in here, highlight them all, do not miss one, you cannot afford to miss one, highlight them, copy them, and when you've copied them, go into your CM folder, like so, click in data, and right click and paste it in there. Right click and replace anything that it prompts you. Replace it, it will ask you politely. Okay, and there we are. Now then, if you've now, at this point, if you've now got multiple CMs on your computer, like as you can see I have, and there's one I made earlier on, fill out the cook report. This is a time now. Now, if you've got multiple installations, you cannot have it on your desktop. If this is going to be your only installation, by all means, right-click whichever exe you're going to use and copy it onto your desktop. You might need to just double-check those properties again, the compatibility and stuff. But otherwise, if it's more than one install, you can't do that. But at this point, this is where you rename. You do not launch the game yet until you have renamed it. As you can see, I made one earlier on and I renamed it 8485. So once you've renamed it once, you can't really rename it again. So be sure, whatever you're going to choose, that's what you're going to keep it with. I'm actually going to keep my 8485 there because that 8485 is the exact version that I've just put in now. So I'm just going to delete this afterwards anyway. But at this point, we run. Now, the difference between fast and normal. Fast, I believe it's times 200. I think it's times 200 in terms of... Now, that happened earlier on, funnily enough. But don't worry. Don't worry. Because... that exact thing happened earlier on, but then it fired up anyway. Okay? It fired up anyway. And I like to play in window, but we'll keep ourselves as is. Okay? So, we are ready to go. And as you can see there in the corner, CM8485, version 1, 3.968. Let's start a brand new spanking game. And you know, hey presto, you're there. You're there. And remember, if you're using the fast exe, it's going to go fucking ultra fast, times 200 as opposed to default. I first started playing, I mean, even at default, it still goes at a fairly good speed. Obviously, we've only selected England as a thing there. Okay, and there you see, we'll just do that quickly. And there you go, all done. All done. And I'll just retire out the game and I will just... come out the game. There we go. Yeah, fuck off. But that will sort itself out. Now, it's just really important that you have renamed it if you've got multiple installations. It's so important. Sometimes I get that shit come up, and I'm just going to fire it up again just for the sake of it. There you go. So it hasn't brought up the thing. It's to do with when you're changing screen size. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Job done. Absolutely job done. Now, the last thing I will show you. Now, this don't really apply to me, so I don't really do it. But there are a couple of things here. If you would like pictures made by the amazing Up the Hammers, download it right here and paste it into your Championship Manager 0102 pictures folder. I've never actually done that. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, if we can. let's try and download it quickly and see what we get. Although it's quite a big file, actually. It's actually a really big file. So let's just see how long this is going to take. Yeah, whatever. I agree with this shit. So, okay, 195. So, okay, so that's downloading. Let's just cross that shit out. So, what we'll do is, whilst we're recording, we may as well have a look. So we'll see. It should only take a minute, actually, thinking about it. So let's just follow. I've never done this before. Never done this before in my life. To be honest with you, right, when I did pictures, it gave me a couple of errors, and I thought, oh, fuck this. It's not worth the hassle. Some of the pictures I see are just fantastic. Menu bars, I think they are fantastic. And I think I got really angry one time when it all fucked up on me. So just follow suit, as it says. Whilst that's downloading, let me just tell you about this last thing at the bottom here. This is quite new. If you want the 2 foreigners ruling to apply in Italy, apply this MISC patch right there. You download that MISC patch. But it gives you instructions how to do that. Now, in all honesty, right, if you're quite new to this sort of thing, I personally wouldn't do it. I know how to do it, but I personally wouldn't do it because I think you may well run into issues. I would just play it as is. If you're one for the nostalgic update, you are ready to go. You're ready to go. You don't need the pictures and stuff. I'm just intrigued. Right, pictures are done. Okay, pictures are done. So let's go to those pictures then, shall we? Let's go to those pictures. Yeah, let's. Okay, right, so, there we go, extracted the pictures. Obviously, it's a bigger file than most, and it's just really important that you just follow procedure, follow what it says, and you should be alright. So what we have, we're almost there, 96, there we go, job done. Okay, so, double check what it says. And paste it into your Championship Manager Pictures folder. Now, I believe, I could be doing this wrong, but I believe that's what we take. I think. So, take all that. I think I'm doing this right. Don't quote me on this. I'm not the expert on this. I'm not the expert at all. So, we're going to now go and see how it looks in the pictures. Where's pictures? Where's pictures? Well, fuck me. Is it because I didn't install pictures, isn't it? It's because I didn't install pictures. It's just... okay, I don't quite know why it didn't give me that. Probably because I didn't install pictures. Of course I didn't. It makes sense. So that's what you would do. I didn't install pictures, did I? I even did that. What a spastic. Okay, but that's the short and long of it, guys. It's very, very straightforward. Let me know your views. Let me know if you got on okay. I'm going to post this in the... yeah, so there you go. I've learnt a lesson there. If I want to play with pictures, I must install it. Makes sense, don't it? Duh. And hopefully, this has helped at least one person. And I'm hoping the one person it's helped is the person that PM'd me, whose name escapes me. That's it from me, guys. Till next time, take it easy.